Valentine's Day, a day during which you honor your feelings, surround yourself with those you love, and try to hit that miraculous sweet spot between eating a ton of food in a romantic restaurant with your sweetheart and wanting to fool around just hours later. But not all of us have sweethearts, and if the feelings you'd rather honor this V-Day fall more in line with guttural howls than cheery whoops, you should still be able to celebrate. Here are 10 hardcore movies currently streaming on Netflix for those of you who'd sooner rip open a teddy bear on the off chance it's filled with fun, illicit drugs than buy one for a crush. Dolemite Is My Name is a 2019 American biographical comedy film directed by Craig Brewer and written by Scott Alexander and Larry Karaszewski. The film stars Eddie Murphy as filmmaker Rudy Ray Moore, who is best known for having portrayed the character of Dolemite in both his stand-up routine and a series of blaxploitation films, which started with Dolemite in 1975. A movie that once again brought back Eddie Murphy at his comedic best, Dolemite Is My Name, just like its story, takes an outlandish idea and simply runs with it to fruition. With an impressive ensemble that includes names like Wesley Snipes, Craig Robinson, Keegan-Michael Key, and Chris Rock, Dolemite Is My Name is funny and a great ride for a lazy Sunday afternoon. This film has IMDb rating of 7.3 and Rotten Tomatoes score of 97%. Uncut Jems is a 2019 American crime thriller film directed by the visionary Safdie brothers. It is still surprising as to why Uncut Jems was snubbed for the Oscars earlier this year. Originally directed by A24 Productions, Uncut Jems is indie filmmaking at its best. A claustrophobic tale about Howard Ratner played by Adam Sandler in a role like never before, this high-octane tale will make you feel uneasy and sometimes angry at the protagonist as he keeps making one bad decision after the other. The movie sort of builds itself to this big bang ending that easily makes it one of the best climax sequences in recent years. The last 20 minutes of the movie should be in cinema museums in the future on how to build a scene. This film has IMDb rating of 7.5 and Rotten Tomatoes score of 92%. Cam is a 2018 American psychological horror film directed by Daniel Goldhaber and written by Issa Mazzy from a story by Goldhaber, Mazzy, and Isabel Link-Levy. The story is partially drawn from writer Mazzy's own experience working as a cam girl. One of the best and most original horror movies in years, Cam by Daniel Goldhaber and Issa Mazzy takes an atypical approach to both scares and sex as they relate to the genre. Madeline Brewer, who just keeps getting better, locks down a difficult film with a multifaceted performance as a beleaguered sex worker, a demonic entity that's stolen her online identity, and the many shades in between. The film has IMDb rating of 6.5 and Rotten Tomatoes score of 56%. The Void is a 2016 Canadian supernatural horror film written and directed by Stephen Kostanski and Jeremy Gillespie, and produced by Jonathan Bronfman and Casey Walker. It stars Aaron Poole, Kenneth Welsh, Daniel Fathers, Kathleen Monroe, and Ellen Wong. The plot follows a small group of people who become trapped in a hospital by a gathering of hooded cultists, and by grotesque creatures. Loud, bloody, and truly disgusting. This practical effects-laden horror set inside a rural hospital surrounded by silent but homicidal cult members is a masterclass in economical storytelling, and yet liberal use of bodily fluids. This film has IMDb rating of 5.8 and Rotten Tomatoes score of 78%. Hostel is a 2005. The Devil Take You is a 2018 Indonesian horror film written and directed by Timothy Yajantug. The story follows Alfie, Chelsea Island, who, when trying to find answers to her father's Racehetapi mysterious illness, visits his old house and finds out events from his past. Indonesian horror is experiencing a boom, and May the Devil Take You is one of the best the country has ever released. A scary, well-told story about curses and familial trauma, this one's worth a watch even if you consider yourself one of those people who doesn't do subtitles. This film has IMDb rating of 6 and Rotten Tomatoes score of 83%. Autopsy of Jane Doe is a 2016 supernatural horror film directed by Andre Overdahl. A simple horror premise anchored by the unlikely but brilliant duo of Emile Hirsch and Brian Cox as father/son coroners tasked with uncovering the secrets behind a recently discovered, unidentifiable corpse of a young woman who, from the outside, looks completely untouched. The film teases and builds suspense just long enough, while doling out small reveals and suggestions here and there until a brilliantly off-the-wall third act inevitably brings violent chaos. A ton of fun. This film has IMDb rating of 6.8 and Rotten Tomatoes score of 87%. The Invitation is a 2015 American horror film directed by Karen Kusama and written by Phil Hay and Matt Manfredi. The film stars Logan Marshall Green, Tammy Blanchard, Michael Huisman, and Emiyazi Corinaldi. One of my favorite types of movie is dinner party goes horribly wrong, and who boy, does this one go wrong. Karen Kusama is an underrated director ready for the big time, and this is her best work to date. The gut punch of an ending will stick with you for days. This film has IMDb rating of 6.6 and Rotten Tomatoes score of 88%.